if you watch like Loose Change and some of the other documentaries from back then, there's different theories. Some of the theories are way out there. Some people are like, oh, the hijackers weren't the real people. They were other people who were working with the US government, and the planes were controlled by remote control. And some people like, oh, you didn't really see the planes hit the buildings. There were the holograms and fake. Look, there's a lot of wild stuff. So I'm not saying that the crashes didn't happen, right? I'm not saying they didn't happen. I'm not saying that the hijackers weren't the hijackers. But my thing is that you see the planes hit World Trade Center 1 and 2, right? In Shanksville, Flight 93, we don't see the plane hit the ground, but we obviously see the ditch. Now, the filming for the Pentagon, right? Flight number 77 that hit at 9:38 that day. Now, Flight 77 for me, and I always ask this question. We have film of WTC 1 and 2 being hit. We can see a plane approaching and crash. We can see those things. Now, the Pentagon, you could never really see a plane. And back then, I used to ask this question, and I'd be like, well, how come the Pentagon doesn't show, or how come we don't have footage that shows Flight 77 crashing into the Pentagon besides the one grainy piece of footage from the parking lot of the Pentagon? And, you know, you it's weird. You don't really see the plane, but we had always talked about the fact, or they had always talked about the fact that, okay, maybe they'll release more footage later. And to this day, I still don't see a plane. And I would venture to say they haven't released any other footage in 24 years. And the Pentagon is the most guarded building in the world. So I would think we'd have footage, like clearer footage, from multiple places. You know what I'm saying? We would have footage from the Pentagon. The Pentagon is the most secure building in the world. There's got to be multiple images of video capturing that part of the building. There is a gas station across the street. There should have been multiple pieces that you could see Flight 77 come in. So if you remember, like even if you go on YouTube it now, if you go in and you put in Flight 77 in the Pentagon, the main let me see, the main video you normally see would be this one. Like this is the popular one that everybody sees, right? Okay, the plane should be coming any minute, I guess, whatever it is, but you can't see a plane. Yeah, there, man. I mean, you can't even see that thing though. I've always tried to pause this video and see if I could see anything, but now look, I'm not saying it wasn't a plane, but it always bothered me because I can't tell if it was a plane. And a lot of these documentaries had talked about this being a missile or being something else. Now, again, my problem with it is one, I can't really see if it was a plane, right? And then the other thing that always bothered me was that this was a seven. Let's see, Flight 77. Was it a 767? Okay, it was a Boeing. Okay, it's a 757. So it was a 757. This is a big ass plane. And, you know, usually when the plane is getting ready to land, it's going a couple hundred miles an hour, 300 miles an hour, I guess. And, here's a plane that these guys were not like amazing pilots. I mean, the acrobatic maneuvers that they talked about what Flight 77 would have had to do, and then to be able to come that close to the ground and then run into the Pentagon. I don't know. It's just you can watch for yourself and take a look at the aerodynamics of what Flight 77 had to do. So it would seem weird to me that the pilot could actually do that, get that close to the ground, and hit the Pentagon. But my biggest thing about this flight is that I can't see the plane. So in 24 years, there really hasn't been any better footage regarding this flight. So that's always something that had bothered me. And it looks like, let me see if there's one more. Um, this is another one. It says new footage released. When was this released? Like 10 years ago. Man, I don't see. Nah, that ain't, yeah, that ain't no footage. That ain't no good footage.